Okay, so I choked on a cheese stick. Not the stringed ones, not the stringed ones. We're talking actual cooked, fried mozzarella cheese sticks. The really stretchy ones, the ones that are fried to goodness, golden brown if you will. But this wasn't just any night. This was actually my first time at Dave & Buster's. Yeah. I don't know how that really happened, to be honest with you. I went with my family, and honestly, thank the freaking Lord up above that I went with my family. Because if I had gone with anybody else, I probably would have been in a really bad situation. It's pretty self-explanatory where the story goes, but okay. So it all started on a night in 2015. It was the beginning of some year of high school. I think maybe junior year, if not that, sophomore year. I think it was sophomore year. My family and I wanted to go out and do something fun. We went to Dave & Buster's for the very first time, and so that's pretty cool, but it's also one of the things that scars me from wanting to go in there again. Alright, so we're at Dave & Buster's. We get there late in the evening. I'm kind of familiarizing myself with the place. We're set down at this table. It's huge. It's a wide open spot. There's like a whole bar area. It's like a sports bar, but it's mixed with like games. It's more adult oriented and centered, so it's not like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese. It's more of like an upgraded, modernized version of that, if you will. I don't know if it's modernized, but anyways, Dave & Buster's has been around for so long. This was my first time experiencing that. So we sit down and we order some appetizers. We were eating some food there, you know, because that was like our dinner / game combo. So we pre-gamed, if you will. Obviously, mozzarella sticks you can't go wrong with. Those things are so freaking good. Like, if you're ordering anything besides mozzarella sticks, then I don't want to talk. Alright, so we get the cheese sticks in this basket. Yo, there's a whole horn honking sitch. It's too early for this shit. Where was I? Oh yeah, cheese sticks. It came in the basket. Great presentation, friendly service. We were sitting in a booth, and there's a huge flat screen on one wall and then another flat screen on another wall next to it. So basically the walls essentially were like pixels. Like, it was badass. It was really cool. I love the environment. There's like a nice scent going in there. It's like a really fresh cologne kind of scent. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's for every Dave & Buster's, but when I walked in there, it was just super fresh, and you like immediately knew the air was hitting different. Like I felt absorbed in that, and that's like synonymous with Dave & Buster's now. Being the food lover that I am, I put one on my plate, completely regular, completely normal. And they're pretty hot still, so I wait for them to cool off. And at the time, and probably still, I don't even realize it maybe, but I take really big bites out of my food. I am a vacuum when it comes to meals. I finish those things in 5 to 10 minutes tops. Actually, 10 minutes doesn't even exist with meals for me. Like, we're doing single digits for the amount of time it takes me to finish a meal, okay? It's not good. I don't recommend it. It keeps your food from settling well, and it also helps you gain weight, which is not good. So yeah, I'm eating this mozzarella stick. After it cools off, I take my big bite, like probably half of it's in my mouth at this point. The other half's just obviously is still there, but the string cheese is still attached inside, so it's stretching out. Obviously the breadcrumbs are in there. And then I go for maybe a handful of chews. Not enough to the point where I could swallow this and separate the cheese, like I should have. I eventually bit the cheese string in half, so then, like, you know, this whole line is like drooping down my mouth. And I'm chewing, I swallow it, and then immediately I know something's wrong. Like, we're talking about asphyxiation is on its way. That was my first choking experience. And it was so awkward because it's a cheese stick. It's a freaking cheese stick. How harmless can those things be? Imagine this plump little kiddo just eating a cheese stick too fast and having somebody having to help him. Alright, we're gonna get to that though. So alright, so I immediately start to choke. I'm like I'm like coughing, my eyes start to water. My eyes are very sensitive. When it comes to like breathing, obviously you guys are gonna water if you can't breathe, but like my eyes water pretty easily when I'm doing stuff regularly. It's apparent that I'm choking, and my dad like pats me on the back. He doesn't know how bad it is. He like sees that I'm choking, he like pats me, he's like, hey, you okay? You doing alright there? And he notices that his patting is not helping. He realizes that I'm not a toddler. I don't have baby food stuck in my esophagus, so it's not, I'm literally 15. It's not a bad first move. I get it, do it light, see if it'll go down. That wasn't happening. So then immediately he starts to get up. I stand up from the table, I lean over, and he starts patting me a little bit harder. He doesn't know. And I think this guy at the table next to us notices I'm choking, because at this point I'm crying, tears are down my eyes. I'm still choking. It's been maybe 15 seconds. It gets pretty bad. This guy, this really heavy-set dude, no problem with that, just I'm trying to describe him. He offers to help, obviously. He's not gonna just LMAO, sit back and eat some popcorn. He's gonna help me. He immediately jumps to the rescue. So he's got me in the Heimlich. He's setting me up for the Heimlich. He's got his arms, or his hands clasped. They're under my ribs. He targets to push from under my rib cage. Apparently that's how you get the food up. And so, this is the weirdest part, because he starts to do the Heimlich, but then he lifts me off the ground. My fucking feet are dangling. I feel like I'm about to get body slammed. I feel like I'm getting attacked while being helped, in a weird sense. It's so weird. I can't even, I'm imagining it in my head right now, and I get choked up thinking about it. Because for one, I couldn't breathe, but I feel like I'm getting pummeled to the ground by this guy. I mean, it doesn't really hurt. I just feel I notice he's, considering the fact that he was a bigger dude, he had the strength to lift me up. So I think he was trying to press maybe my back to where his chest was, and so then it'd exert more pressure on my stomach. I am no specialist in Heimlich or CPR techniques, so I don't know if he was doing it right or not. This is only from what I know and from what I was experiencing. He starts to do that, and I feel some relief, I think, but it's still lodged in there. I think some of it starts to come up. Sorry, this is kind of gross. This is what happened. It's kind of funny. And anyways, my dad notices the cheese is still sticking in my throat, so he reaches in. He's the hero he is. The hero my dad is. He reaches in my mouth and pulls the string cheese out from my throat. It's really graphic, it's gross sounding, but that immediately helped. And from then on I could swallow the crumbs and whatever remnants of cheese there were stuck to the crumbs or whatever it was. Yeah. And so moments after he saved my life, thanks to the guy who was doing the Heimlich as well, thank you, wherever you are. You're the hero we didn't know we needed, but the hero we don't deserve. That's it! Yo, why was that delivered in such a weirdly dramatic approach? I love that. Let's play that back real quick. You're the hero we didn't know we needed, but the hero we don't deserve. Yeah, so my life was saved at that point. There are absurd amounts of drool on my shirt and running down my mouth. I have tears filled with my eyes. Looks like I just got somebody broke up with me. That's the state I'm in, appearance-wise. I look like I just got dumped out of a 10-year relationship, and I'm completely devastated. My dad was definitely freaked out. I don't know how my mom and sister were reacting, because they were there, but I can't remember because I think everything moved so fast. Everything happened so fast. He took me to the bathroom. I cleaned up myself, wiping tears from my eyes, wiping my shirt. And from then on, I think going forward, I've been so cautious with cheese sticks. I get a little bit uncomfortable seeing a mozzarella cheese stick. I can't say I'm gonna stop ordering them because they're just that good. Come on, especially with the marinara combination, we're absolutely talking about flavorful excellence. I think the total duration of me choking was it felt like a minute, a whole minute. And I wouldn't even put it past me that that's actually what happened, because I know it lasted way longer than, what, 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. It was definitely more than half a minute, and I don't know how long it takes for somebody to black out. I guess it varies. Maybe me freaking out made it worse, but it was a pretty lengthy amount of time. I don't know, man. Dave & Buster's was fun after that, though. We played games, that was cool. I just looked really soggy. So as the youthful Ian that I was, and hopefully still am, I don't know if you see that, just kidding. That was really a wake-up call to eat slower, appreciate your food. I love how I'm taking appreciate your food out of this whole intense situation, but that's not the point here. We're talking about being cautious when you eat. Every time I think about nearly dying, that's the one story I go to or immediately think of. It's one of those you had to be there to experience it kind of things. Yo, what the f was that? It's absurd the amount of bad drivers around here and the people who just don't care where they're going. God. Me having 4 accidents. I'm sure I'll have that inside joke with me for the rest of my life. I'm probably gonna tell my kids this story unless they watch this vlog, because I'm sure technology is gonna be insane by then. I hope the story times are something you're digging, maybe vibing with. Let me know in the comments. For all of you who made it this far and comment, have fingers to do so. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in another one. Peace!